Hey everybody, it's Mike here from The Art of Guitar. I have to admit that the YouTube algorithm got me again. So last night I was doing what I typically do, which is sit on the couch and practice guitar. And I had my computer open in front of me, and on the side I saw a video that was entitled something like, "Our Band Badly Attempting For Whom the Bell Tolls." Now, because I have a series called Fix This Band, where I watch band videos and I give people advice on how to get better, how to get to the next level, I thought maybe this band could be like a candidate for a future episode, so I checked it out. What I saw instead were two girls jamming together in the garage. One of them was playing guitar and the other was on drums. And then I looked at the name of their channel and it was called Just a Garage Band. And I thought, man, this is going to bring back a flood of memories for me because that's how I started off basically. Way back when we were about 12 or 13, my best friend Al took guitar lessons. He ended up getting a Fender Strat and he started to play these metal riffs and these rock riffs. And I always loved drums, so I asked my grandma if she could get me a drum kit. And she got me this really cheap like aluminum toy kit. But I tried to make the best of it. So I set it up. I didn't have any money for any hardware. So I actually had a lamp and like a music stand to hold my cymbals. So those were my cymbal stands. Now, even though we didn't practice in a garage, we practiced in the basement. And we had such a great time. You know, we called ourselves Steel Rage. One of the best feelings ever was coming up with a band name, even though we weren't really a band. Now, we were terrible. We barely knew what we were doing. We were out of tune, out of time. Check it out. So noticing the parallels between our origin story and what I was seeing on the screen with these girls, I thought, man, this is a blast. This is such a blast from the past, if you will. One thing that I noticed right off the bat with these girls is that they have a really good sense of humor and they seem to have a really good attitude. You know, we're going to watch it together, but you're going to notice that they just kind of laugh along to their mistakes and they don't take themselves too seriously. That's the problem that our project had. We were a little too serious sometimes, but I love the way these girls can laugh things off and just have fun. So let's check it out. Man, this girl's drum set is way better than mine was, but it's just so cool seeing them rocking out in their garage and having fun. I like how real everything is. Like you can see there's a ladder on the side of the frame. There's like backpacks hanging up in the back. There's like shelving units. And you're going to see later on that the guitar player is actually using a laundry basket as a seat. I thought that was so like real. I also love that they're both wearing ear protection, those huge headphones that they're wearing. That's a mistake that we made back in the day. We never used those until later when we had a full band. We never used, earplugs even. So that was a bad mistake because we're paying the price these days, trust me. One thing that I could really connect with is whenever the drummer makes a mistake, she just knows it. You know, I could tell that she has good drummer instincts and that, she could tell when she just kind of blew apart, like, oh, she just gets that frustrated look on her face and they always, put up a funny text or whatever. But that's just the thing when you're first starting out, you're screwing up, but you just can't do anything about it. So it's a real frustrating feeling that I've felt many times. And I still do to this day, just not nearly as much. Okay, now we're coming up to the part in the song where there's that lead walk down. I'm going to try that part with them. I'm going to pretend I'm jamming with the band, and let's just see how it goes here. Right there. how that dive bomb went right into her stopping. I really didn't want this to be like a Fix This Band episode, really. But she went to G too early. So this part, you're supposed to stay on E for a long time. So it's supposed to be... So it's like 3 hits of E. Then G. Then B. Then E again for 3 times. Back to G. So that was the only chord mistake on that part. Otherwise, it would have been really sweet. Something that's kind of making me nervous watching this, you know, I feel like I'm watching my students play and I'm trying to help them out, is the way she's making a power chord can be a little bit stressful to the hand. So if you play it like this, kind of like she's doing a full, almost like a major chord like you would on the 5th string, except she's doing it everywhere. And I can already feel this really straining feeling on my wrist and my forearm right here. So this is kind of tough to do for your hand for a long period of time. What I would recommend, if you want to take any advice from me, is to switch to either a power chord like this, index finger, ring finger. By the way, you can also bar the ring finger if you want to hit that 2nd octave. That's way less stressful for the hand. Or you could go with the pinky on the 4th string here. Sure, going 1, 3, 4 finger-wise. You could do what James Hetfield does, which is use your pinky on the higher notes. So you could have 1st finger, pinky. That's going to allow you to play guitar for a lot longer with less pain. The drummer's holding it down pretty well, except for those stops. The thing about For Whom the Bell Tolls is it really sets up the drummer for failure because everything pretty much stops except the drums have to do these fills. So if you kind of blow a fill, it's one of those things where you just have to do what you do and just throw your hands up sometimes until you perfect it later. I do notice though that she's only hitting the 2 cymbals as far as crashes go. She has another crash and then a whole mess of cymbals going on. I'm not sure what's going on right here, but there's a China cymbal and a splash cymbal pointing the wrong direction. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Also, if you're playing Metallica with a Stratocaster guitar, you're not going to want to be on the front pickup like that because it's going to sound like this. See, it's kind of dull a little bit. Flip that switch to the bridge pickup. It's going to be a lot more cutting. Okay, let's keep going. There's some really funny outtakes coming up.
Okay, he said he sounded good last week. A win is a win. A win is a win. A win. I don't hear it. I don't hear it. A win is a win. Watch these. Wait, what? They watch these. I don't laugh like that, bro. My cheeks are gonna hold it.
This is one of the best parts about jamming with friends, is that the playing is great, but we sometimes forget about the talking in between songs. And here we get to see it because they, put it on the internet. But back in the day, we would stop all the time and joke around. In fact, I found some cassettes today of our old band practices. That's where I found that earlier clip. And most of it is us just joking around and laughing.
Think that sounds cool? That's a bass. But that simple beat may sound like a cool song. Hey, we're like Motley Crue, dude. They must sit down and do this. Ready? Yep.
And like teasing my younger brother, and my eyes were red. I was afraid my eyes were going to look funny for this video, or funnier than usual, because I was almost crying, laughing at some of the things I found on those tapes. So that's a huge part of development when it's coming to 2 people jamming together. You get closer and closer because you don't only share the musical moments, but all the stuff in between, good and bad. And like I said before, I love that they can laugh at each other and not take things too seriously. The day you start getting offended by each other's, jokes, it's usually a problem. Okay, let's keep going. It's almost to the end here.
It's just funny. I'm so proud of you. Ari. You did the impossible. What did you just say? You did the impossible. Oh, I did. Okay. You gotta pull this shit. Wait. Sarah, what did you expect to happen?
The The editing on this is great. So whoever did the editing for your video, great job, because it really keeps you interested and it's funny and it's self-deprecating. I love it. These humble beginning videos are always special to me because when you get better, if you stick to it and you keep going, you have something to measure it against. You could always go back and go, remember when I couldn't even play that part in For Whom the Bell Tolls? And now look at us. Now I'm really lucky because I have a stepdad who bought a camcorder way back in the early days, and he was able to pretty much archive the whole band's progress from start to finish. And so even though we just started, as two guys in the basement playing in Steel Rage, in a matter of about 3 to 4 years, we were able to get pretty far. So we wouldn't be able to go back and see the drastic change if I had never captured the beginnings of that. And the other day I did a video about the band called The Warning, and they're one of the first bands, if not the only band, to have their entire journey captured and put on YouTube. So they started off playing covers just like you guys are doing, just like we did, and look at them today. So I'm not putting any pressure on you girls to keep going and achieve these kind of heights, but that would be awesome if you stuck with it and had something to look back on. And even if in the future you end up just moving on with your lives and not really playing music, you always have these times to look back on and remember in a good way. You'll always have a good nostalgic feeling when you think about those innocent days where you're just in the garage playing Metallica songs, playing Black Sabbath songs. I noticed you did Iron Man too. Not Iron Man 2, but Iron Man as well. And you could just tell you guys are having fun. So, that's something you'll always have the rest of your life is that memory. So I guess you could say you can always look back to your garage days and feel good when you revisit them. If you know Metallica, you caught that reference. Okay, everyone, thank you so much for watching. I'll put a link to their original video in the bottom. I had to cut out parts of it because they actually used the recording of For Whom the Bell Tolls in part of it, and I didn't want any copyright issues. So I'll link that at the bottom, so check that out. Okay, everyone, thank you for watching, and we'll catch you soon. Bye-bye.